maybe somebody else will find it useful. Okay, everybody, hello. This is the Kubernetes SIG architecture production readiness subproject meeting for whatever the date is today, April 7th, 2021, I think. All right, so I guess Brian, we have a few new attendees today. Brian here was asking about what we do here. So yes, the idea is to apply kind of some of these SRE type of principles and review of features as they go through the development cycle in Kubernetes. And before so at each stage of the development cycle, the alpha, beta, and stable phases, we have a set of questions associated with that feature that we want to get answered. And at alpha, it's really, really minimal. It's basically just, can we turn this thing off? And if we turn it off, or turn it on and then turn it off again, are we going to break stuff? So can we undo the damage? But then as you go up in your levels of stability, you are expected to meet more criteria. And so all of those are in the KEP template. And so we look for monitoring, we look for a kind of known failure modes, mitigations, things people should do if they see those failure modes. Some of it's just like in the alpha, like I said, on and off, but it's like sort of documentation around like what components do you actually need to set these feature gates in, and just try to make it as easy as possible for people to discover the information they need to support the feature in the field, to know if it's working, and all of that. So as part of the process, what that means is that every release cycle, as SIGs commit to certain features, they write these Kubernetes enhancement proposals, which is not that we're just part of that process. And in that, they have to fill out this questionnaire, and there's a group of us that sits down and reviews them, make sure the answers are adequate. Typical types of things we see are, hey, you need to add a metric here, or your metric is insufficient, or yes, you really do need a feature gate for that. There's other stuff too, but those are common things we see. And just make sure that that's all in good shape to move the feature and accept it into the release. We currently have 4 of us that do these reviews, and we certainly are looking for more folks. The last cycle, 121 was the first release where this was mandatory, and there were 65-ish KEPs. So that was 20 to I guess in 121 there were only 3 of us, so it was like 20 odd reviews per person. And okay, there we go. Thank you, Wojtek. Yeah, we each had 22 exactly. And so we'd love to broaden the pool. We don't want to be a bottleneck on the development process. We want to be an important gate, but not a bottleneck. And so we did document a procedure for how people can join the team. Thank you to Alana for helping make that happen. And Alana was our first new member since the formation of the group. So basically, if you're interested, we're going into the 122 enhancement cycle pretty soon. And so the process is documented there in the community repo, I believe, under SIG architecture, production readiness. But basically, it's you do some reviews and say that you're shadowing in those reviews, and then as we, the people on the approver list see those reviews, and there's enough of them, and they look like they're on the right track, and we feel confident in your reviews, then you can move to the into the group. Any other questions?
Nope, that clears it up.
Awesome. So did you, Mike, did you come for the same reason? Alana's been doing some recruiting for us. Yay, good job.
Yeah. Well, she's been doing some work for me, so I figured, oh man, this is embarrassing. Maybe I should help out a little bit. I'm a maintainer for Container D. I've been around forever. I work on Cry tools and Kubelet sometimes.
Okay.
Ex-Docker guy, right? I work for IBM, so yeah.
Okay, great.
The other side of IBM, instead of Red Hat.
Right. So you went back into the fold at some point, you're saying.
I used to do operating systems. Now I'm a Golang programmer, right? Working on this stack. I'm also a maintainer on the OCI standards, the specs.
Okay, good. Great. Well, thank you for joining. Happy to have you here. So I think we only have one agenda item today, and let me pull up the agenda.
I think the agenda item is action item review, of which I had two,
Yes.
which I did both of mine, sort of. So one of them was updating the template to put SLOs before SLIs. I have a PR up. Wojtek LGTM'd it, so yay. I don't know if somebody else wants to approve it. I can't approve it, but that's done. So if there's a PR, I linked it in the comment where it was assigned to me previously, but I can link it in today's notes if we need to. The other action item I had was to see if maybe we could get the bot to auto assign the PRR reviewers or approvers based on whatever the content of the file says. And supposedly either, I think, the Proud bot or Feta bot could potentially do this. And it's just a matter of do we actually want to put in the effort to figure that out, or does it matter?
I mean, I think that I don't need that, but I know you prefer a GitHub workflow, so if that works for you, then go for it.
It's definitely challenging to figure out what is assigned to me if it is not actually assigned to me in GitHub, but I vaguely understand that maybe is there a CapCuttle tool or something like that should does that have, if that can tell me everything that I need to review, then that's perfectly fine.
It does, but it's far from perfect itself. So it was originally built to go through the files in the repository, and then I just was like, that's not useful to me. I needed to go through PR, so I just shoehorned it in there in a very awkward way. So I know there's work going on in that tool to improve it. But yes, assigning it via PROW would be really nice. And there was some other comment I was going to make, but yeah, but that's the tool I used. You do get some issues with all of these, where certainly with CapCuttle, where if the YAML file is unparsable for some reason, then it doesn't know what to do, and it can't actually even alert you. Yeah, so I had to go through all the errors in all the PRs too.
Yeah, and I imagine that would be a problem for
oh, that's what I was going to say.
If the bot was doing it.
Right. That's what I was going to say. Is what would be nice would be able to balance them, but because right now it's just up to the author to pick somebody, and I don't think it's such a huge burden to do that. But we did have some oh, Wojtek is way oversubscribed, give that to me. And then he's like, yeah, but I really want to do this one. So it does cause some, confusion sometimes. But balancing it automatically probably would have similar problems. So.
And I think the bot is it smart enough to figure that out? Maybe not. I know that it will tell you to assign approvers when you need approvals in certain areas. I don't know if it's smart enough to assign multiple reviewers. But I don't know. I mean, there's no point in boiling the ocean, right? If it's not a problem, it doesn't seem like it would be super obviously easy to add. So I'm fine to let
Okay.
it be. We know how to add it if we need to. And I would say for like the future, I mean, the good news is if somebody needs a PRR approval and your name is on it, hopefully they will be chasing you down. It's not like it'll just sit there and like you'll never hear about it again. And if that's the case, then maybe you didn't need to approve it. So
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah. There's always the ones that you're like, ask, you give, who never respond to your comments. So how much do they? Okay.
The only tricky part is that they start chasing you on the last day, and like you suddenly have like 10 of those at the last day.
yeah,
Suddenly
that's
it's-
not the great thing,
yeah.
but I at least, when we get a release schedule, I will have the like, these are the 2 weeks of KEP doom on my calendar, and I will not do anything other than KEPs for those weeks.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Then let's see. I didn't take any notes during that. Let's see. The FIFO one. Why is she not fast enough? All right. Yeah, okay, cool, thank you. So I will shamefully admit that I did not get to either of my AIs again, and it's been a little hectic, but I will get to them in this next cycle. I need to. It's getting too late otherwise. So not much more to say about that. My 2 items were, one's just tweaking a paragraph about, I think, HA environments, trying to get people to think through their feature rollout and rollback and that sort of thing in HA environments or during upgrades. I don't know. I have to go back and look at the notes, something to that effect. And then the survey, we really want to repeat the survey and tweak it. That's going to take some time. So I need to block out a good chunk of time to revise those questions and make them. We were missing some ways to connect the data that we needed in the last time we did it.
And David
So
had
that's it for me.
which I think he has a PR up for now, and I think both me and Wojciech reviewed it, and like it's in progress. I think he needs to respond to comments. So
Okay, I guess he's, yeah, Wojtek said he thinks he's out this week, so. All right, I think Wojtek, I think you managed to somehow not have any action items from last time. So is there anything else we need to discuss, or should we just wrap it up?
I don't have anything on my side.
Okay. All right, well, thank you, Mike and Brian, for joining. And, we read every 2 weeks, and often it's like this. It's just quick check-in, and then we move on. So, occasionally there's bigger things to discuss, but we'd be happy to have you anytime.
My favorite meetings.
Exactly.
presumably when the
Thanks,
KEPs
all.
start coming in, we'll have more things to discuss, but it's still quiet in terms of 122 for now. So
Yeah.
Exactly.
All righty.
Thank you all. Bye-bye.